What is going on, everybody? BattleBearHobbies here, and today I'm gathering my first impressions of the Ultima Online Outlands shard. It's completely free to play, and the player base here is massive. This is just the newbie island, and it's packed. But I have a problem. I'm hoofing it. No pun intended. And it really sucks, but I need to find a way to get him out. Outlands has a crazy amount of custom templates to start with. Arcane Mage, Tamer Dexter, Dungeon Scavenger, just to name a few. But I went with a unique option called the Backstabber because it sounded awesome. The mechanics here are completely revamped from classic Ultima Online. I realized quickly that different weapon types vary like night and day. Funny enough, maces seem exceptionally good for backstabbing here. This one, for example, deals 400% weapon damage from stealth with one of its innate abilities. Even better, if I can grind my stealing and snooping up to 80, I can join the Thieves Guild, and once I do that, my backstabs will actually mug at the target for extra loot. This is a brilliant mechanical synergy. Before I head out to where bands of red players can actually PK me and infamously ruin my day, I must sort through my skills. To automate some of these basics, I grabbed a script off of the forums. Outlands uses an advanced version of Razor client, which feels pretty familiar if you're used to running macros in the Orion client. 5 or 10 minutes of tweaking, and I had my auto bandage system set up and running, which is basically a requirement to survive in any shard that you're playing on. I've also noticed that the server is heavily anti-AFK, with some easy to recognize mechanics. There's a lot of gumps that pick up requiring manual clicking, and it's actually kind of refreshing because it keeps everybody engaged instead of just mindlessly droning around the dungeons. Alright, my goal right now is to do this quest to farm 2500 gold in the newbie dungeon to get a blessed runebook, with many different locations that it says I should go after. But there is a familiar spawning here, and he means business. He tore me to shreds earlier off camera, just for your information. We're going in. And I don't know if we're really going to stand a chance here. I think my Dexter script that I got off of some miscellaneous forums is really carrying me here, I will be honest, compared to the last attempt that I had. My fingers keep slipping, whatever that means. Come on, get a grip. No pun intended. Come on, all or nothing, and it's hands off the keyboard. He is down. Alright, that is now the biggest mob I've taken on in Outlands so far, so I should feel pretty good about that, and I do. That was my first, what I would consider a boss fight here. Yes, the lowly familiar, because I am a noob and I am starting with nothing. We'll go around after the familiar and we'll move a little deeper into the hold. Oh yeah, death to the Skaven slaves. And a gore, that's neat. I love seeing the custom mobs and dungeons here. I ran through every single dungeon on OSI and Age of Shadows. After a while, you've kind of seen everything. Not to say it isn't fun. I like the familiarity and how the sound effects come across and just the simple nature of it all, but it is incredibly refreshing. I would be remiss not to mention to do something genuinely new. Now here was the Necromancer. I did not think he would be this tough. I'm out of my league, so I'm going to leave. And he's a grade A bad word. Let's get back to the headless one, something I know I can take down. Zombies aren't too bad either. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty part of the build. What I do know so far, just from basing it off of other shards that I've played on. Everybody can make a character, but I will need some extensive time on the wiki to perfect him as much as I can. I like to kill things fast. That's just how I play. But to use my weapon abilities like Pummel, I need exactly 80 macing and 80 tactics or more. Right now I'm not even at 60. You only get a limited amount of total skill points, of course, so you really have to pick and choose. It's nice that you can drain unwanted skills easily here. Killing zombies is pretty classic no matter where you go, but there's multiple levels to this dungeon, talking about depth, so we shall descend. And I forgot about this freaking cave bear. More like a polar bear, honestly, with how vicious he is. I was mistaken when I spoke of the familiar earlier being my first semi-boss. This is the true boss of my progression story so far. Oof. Oh, this is not going to end well for myself. This could very well be my first death thus far. We're smacking him around a little bit, but it makes me wonder about gear durability here. But honestly, I guess you don't have to worry about that because I don't see any systems in place for it, and you won't necessarily hold on to something as long as you would in a purely PvE shard like UO EX or UO Alive. You're going to die and lose it anyways. If we could use our actual weapon skills for this Warhammer, we would be doing a lot more damage. I'm going to cap off our strength for now at 100 and then get dexterity to match it as a baseline because you can't necessarily call yourself a dexer if you don't have a lot of dex. That would be false branding. And we took down the cave bear. I never doubted us for even a second, which would be a brazen lie. I'm going to stick with my tactic of just standing toe-to-toe with whatever scares me until either I drop or it drops. And maybe Lady Luck is on my side, but it's been going well so far. Honestly, I'm having fun. You can tell that the Outlands team has put a lot of work into all this custom content. I am more than impressed. Scorpion. Okay. Well, there's too many of you. Now we know how to run away. We shall leave the dungeon, get some potions, and recoup tomorrow. This has been BattleBearHobbies.